Nothing here.
This guitar is normally on display up there in that case. It's been up there for years. It's been up there since about 1997. And this guitar belonged to Carl Bean. It's a 1952 model. It's a Martin 00028. It's kind of an unusual guitar. Not a lot of them around. It's smaller in size than a lot of Martins were. It's not a full-size dreadnought. It's smaller bodied, and the 00028, a 1952 model, they've become pretty rare. But this one belonged, as you can tell, to Carl Bean, and Carl Bean was a neighbor here to the museum. Lived over on Mountain Road, lived there most all of his life, and he played here at the museum from the time that it opened, probably before it opened. Carl played here for John Rice, and they would run all over the place before the museum. Even when John Rice was in the school system, they would go play in schoolhouses and pie suppers and things like that while John Rice was politicking, maybe. But this was the guitar that he drug around for all those years. Carl wrote several songs. He was also a basketball coach, as that display talks about. He coached at Norris High School for years, and when he retired, he was able to spend more time here at the museum and playing music, and that's about what he did. He had a music barn across the road over at there on Mountain Road at his property, and he built it for the sole purpose. It was a music barn, and it ran up into the 80s, 70s and 80s was when it was really its heyday, and he hosted some big entertainers there. Bill Monroe played there, Larry Sparks played there. I don't know just who all, but mainly it was local people. A lot of them real local. 1 mile radius took care of most of his band, and it was a pretty big deal. But this is the guitar he played forever. He played fiddle a little bit, played mandolin, but he was most known as a guitar player. As I said, since 97. It's the first time I've played it since then. When I was young, maybe 12 or maybe 13 years old, is when I first met Carl, and it's when I first met this guitar. And I played it some then, but it's been behind that glass all this time, and nobody's played it. But some changes are being made, I think, maybe to reconstruct that cabinet a little bit. And so the guitar came out and we tuned it up. When Carl was playing it, you see how these strings are all wound and just tied in a knot there. When Carl was playing it, that wasn't the case. He kept 5 of them trimmed. And this one right here, he kept a little long, not this long. He kept it a little bit long. And in between songs, or actually during the songs while it was singing, he'd put his cigarette, he'd poke the filter of that cigarette down on that string, and so while he would be playing, there'd be a lit cigarette bouncing on that string and ashes falling all over the guitar. I don't believe it's ever been on fire though. There may be a little coat of nicotine on it, but I don't think it's ever been ablaze. This guitar, I keep alluding to 1997 when it was put in that case. 1997 is when Carl passed away. He was born in 26. And in 1997, on a Sunday afternoon at the Lenore Museum, which is just right up the road from this museum up near Norris Dam. It's actually part of Norris Dam State Park. There's a jam session that goes on there, and it's gone on for years on Sunday afternoons from 2 to 5. And Carl was there one day and singing before a crowd of visitors to the museum. And, you know, we've all, those of us that never became rich and famous and never will, we've still got our kind of trademark songs, and the songs that we hardly ever go on stage without singing. And Carl had some of those. And I guess the one that he had been most associated with, or the one that I heard him do first as a child, the one that I remember him doing, was a song called "I'm Using My Bible for a Road Map." Carl sang that song that day at the Lenore Museum. And when he got to the chorus of it the last time, the lyrics say, "My last stop is heaven some sweet day." And Carl sang that chorus, and he tagged the last line, "My last stop is heaven some sweet day." And as he tagged it, he slouched over, and those around him could tell that he was in distress. And he passed, of course he was standing, and he passed the guitar this direction to hold it up as he fell to the floor. Carl died right there that day, and died with this guitar in his hand. But as he went down, he was trying to hold the old guitar up. And so some folks were trying to grab him, and others were trying to, you know, they got the guitar and they were getting him, but there was no resuscitating him. He died right there. "My last stop is heaven some sweet day," and that was all she wrote for Carl. So it has kind of added to the legend of Carl, and teacher, ball coach, musician, friend, neighbor, and it's added to the legend of this old guitar. This guitar's, they're kind of sought after, you know, because of its age, and it's in pretty good condition. Not for lack of being played. It's not that it's been babied, it's just, it has survived. Not without a few scars, but it was a good guitar then, it's a good guitar now, after all these years. And there'll be no detours in heaven, no rough roads along the way. I'm using my Bible for a road map. My last stop is heaven some sweet day. My last stop